How has your impression been of season three so far? If you've watched it or checked it out at all or anything like that?
I have a little bit. I mean, it's fun. I think it's staying true to the form, and uh, I wish I was in it a little bit more.
Mm.
But besides that, I think it's great. How
Like,
do you guys like it? That's more important.
well, I'd say that we've been enjoying it so far. I've loved a lot of the different episodes. The Discord episode recently was really really awesome. We had Mr.
Oh
Polsky
yes.
on earlier actually. It was his first event that he's ever been a part of, and we were talking to him extensively about about the Discord episode.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. Although I did notice a distinct lack of Big Mac, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
could
Yeah.
we always need more Big Mac, always.
Yep.
Definitely so.
I mean,
So,
I enjoy Shining Armor, but I will still say that Big Mac is best Big Brother.
oh yeah,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I agree. But then I have to.
well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you're a character. I mean, if you didn't stand up for your character, I mean, well. But anyway, let's see. Question. Do you have any questions for Mr. New, chat?
Ask some decent questions, and we will definitely try to get answers.
Indeed.
Yes, indeed. I'm here for you. I actually don't know where to go. If I put the chat on, I could also look for questions. Where do I go for that?
Oh, right here. Just toss that here, and we do have one question that someone has already asked, which is, do you ever wish Big Mac would speak more?
Well, yeah, I do. I mean, I'm of two minds about it ultimately. Like, in the one sense, yes, I wish he spoke more because would give me an opportunity to speak more, which would be fun for me.
Mm-hmm.
But then on the other hand, I also quite like that he's mostly quiet and mostly can pop in every now and then to sum up an argument in a word. And I really like that device that character has. So, you know what I mean? I'm of two minds about it. Yes, I want him to speak more, but yes, I like that he only says what he says. So it's a bit of a catch-22.
I see. Well, I think that however Big Mac is presented, or however he's just kind of weaved into the various narratives of the episodes, he does have an impact whenever he does come on. You see Big Mac and like, okay, something's going to be going down in the next minute or two. You should really pay some close attention here. That or during the family reunion episode. I don't know if you've seen that one yet. Have you?
No, I haven't. I would like to see that. I've seen bits of it, but somebody asked me because I think I'm miscredited actually for one of the characters in there.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, I know that I'm Half-Baked Apple, I think I'm credited as Half-Baked Apple. Can't remember, but I'm the one that goes hot, hot, hot. But I'm not the one that comes over to the table that initiates that. So I have looked at that scene. But I'm credited as the one that comes over. But I think that might be Terry Klassen, who often directs us. Always directs us, but puts a voice in every now and then.
Right.
We have another interesting question. Have you auditioned for other roles on the show that were not Big Mac?
Yes, I have. Not often. Most of the roles I end up getting, I get just because I happen to be there on the day. But I did audition for Jet Set and got that role. And I don't remember if there was another one I auditioned for or not. The Conductor, I just was there, I think, and Atlas, I think I was just there. Oh, I auditioned for Rarity's father.
Oh, that you would have made a good Rarity's father.
I was Rarity's father.
Oh, well then there you go.
I did make a good Rarity's father.
Well then I guess that's just me being completely silly.
Yeah, I've played something
Awesome.
I've played something around, what is it, around maybe 17 characters or something on the show.
Dang.
Is it that many? No, I'm not sure.
Okay.
I've played as many on 3 Years of Pony as I have in as many episodes of Pet Shop as have been on the air, so that's exciting.
Interesting. I kind of think now because since this is an artist live stream, we do have a lot of artists here, and I just kind of came up with a bit of an idea for a piece. I feel like I don't know. I want to ask you this question too. If you have any like art requests that you want to make from any of the artists here, but humor me on this one. What do you think of Big Mac? He's your like big character, and he's towering over all of the other characters, other roles that you've had throughout MLP, and just kind of like an epic just an epic picturesque scene.
You want me to? Sorry, pick an epic picturesque scene of Big Macintosh for the artist to draw?
Oh no! This is an idea. This is a request that I was like throwing at you to see what you thought of it.
I love it. An epic picturesque Big Macintosh. I picture a meadow, in bloom, and then I lose it after that because I'm not much of an artist myself. But I picture a meadow in bloom, lots of fresh flowers, and Big Mac. And then some epic things happening. Maybe some epic sky or something. I don't know.
There we go. There's a request that we can definitely throw into this.
Yeah.
I hope one of the artists gets to that. I'm not much of a background artist myself. The audio, by the way, is quiet again. Can we please get it fixed?
Sorry? Oh.
Well, that was me, I think. I'm trying to turn my bips and beeps off on my Skype, but I don't really know how to do that.
Oh, if you go up to the side panel of your Skype, there's a little indicator that shows if you're online, offline, or away or busy.
Oh, yeah.
You can set it to Do Not Disturb, and that turns off all of your notifications.
All right. Thank you for that.
Not a problem.
I will see if I can find that. Still can't really find that.
It's on top of call phones. There's contacts recent, and there's call phones. Then there's your name, and then the little indicator.
Yeah, I don't really actually have that window. Anyway, we'll figure it out.
Well, eventually.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I found it. I got it.
Oh, there we go. Perfect.
Thank you.
Not a problem.
This is how often I'm on Skype. People often ask me if I what's my Skype address and if they can. But this is it. I'm here infrequently at best. Sorry. So then I'm in there and I look for what? Add chat notification settings. Is that it?
Yeah.
Do not notify me.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you. That was fascinating for everybody to listen to. It's me.
Oh, there you go.
Figuring my Skype.
Yeah.
Thank you. You can have a picture of Big Macintosh utterly confused by Skype.
I want to draw that.
Just sitting there scratching his head saying, nope.
I'm doing that right now, just really quickly as a sort of goofy thing.
Perfect.
Because I like drawing really silly stuff.
There we go then. All right. Well, in the meantime, then let's move on to another question. This one's actually two questions. The first question is, I found on the video commentary that the producers are in the studios with the voice actors. So my question is, how much input do you have in changing the episode?
Very little.
Very little.
Very, very little. Every now and then you're in the session and something in the script comes at you where you realize it doesn't quite make sense to anybody in the room, or it doesn't quite, you feel like it's, I don't know, you just don't, if it's a joke you don't get, or if it, you kind of modify it a little bit. But that happens very, very rarely, especially on this show, because the writing is so good. And with Big Macintosh, it happens almost never, because there's very little to edit. So, I don't know about this E-up. Can I say something else? That wouldn't happen.
All right, fair enough. All right, and then the second part of that question is, which voice actor from the show do you really enjoy working with?
I love watching Andrea Libman work. It's great fun to watch her work, just because she and Ashley too. They will do entire scenes with themselves, and it's gold. It's great fun to watch. Not every actor can do that and switch back and forth between their two characters quite as easily, but those two can both really do it.
Wow. Do you have for you, since you have multiple characters, have you tried doing that, and can you do it pretty well, or would you say that you struggle a little bit with it?
Yeah, it depends on the characters. It does depend on the characters, because sometimes with Big Mac, I think if I was in a scene with myself, if I was doing, Atlas, for instance, and then Big Macintosh had a conversation, how do you think that would go? Yup. And then, it's kind of, yeah. But then if Atlas, up there doing that, and then there's another character that does something similar, but not, up here, maybe doing something like this. And then you have to go from this to this, and you can hear the slide between the two.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So.
Right. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, well, I'm glad that at least that you kind of able to nail that down and then be able to do that with those different characters. It'd be cool to kind of see that in a bit of an episode, to see that in like a bit of like a, I don't know, maybe like a voice off with different with the different characters, and then just like going off and then going one character for like 10 to 15 seconds, then going to another character for 10 to 15 seconds, and another one, just for fun. I don't know.
Well, it's fun. It's fun to do. I mean, that's kind of like that. That sort of sounds to me like what waiting in the ante room of an audition is like, because you especially when you first start out, you end up in this kind of holding pattern of you walk into the audition, and there's a bunch of other actors sitting around going for the same part, and they're all talking in a particular voice. They're going, we're sitting here doing this for whatever reason, and you walk in and go, oh, hello, everyone, I can do this voice too. And they all kind of check you out and then go, oh, okay. We'll move it into this and we'll start doing this instead. And we'll see if the new guy can come along with us in this different thing. And you can come along with it. And then somebody else walks in and hears you doing the Irish thing. And they go, oh, listen, I can do the Irish too. And you go, oh, okay. Now we'll change it to something else down there and slow it down. And the new person comes in and goes, oh, they're doing text and I can hear you. And it just goes like that over and on and on and on.
That's great. That's awesome. Man, I would imagine you could do a whole sitcom based around just that. Just that room, and then people are coming in there and out, or various like comedy scenes or something.
Yeah, I imagine you could. Yeah, it can. It's pretty fun.
Right on. Let's see. Okay, here we go. What pony would you love to voice in the future, and why? If you have a particular pony that you would be interested in voicing from the show.
I would just be so excited to voice. I always love getting a new character, no matter what it is. So there's no like particular idea I have of, I want to have a Peter Lorre pony come in. I don't, because it doesn't seem likely, first of all. But you never know, writers, if you're listening. But so I don't particularly have a strong notion of I want to have a particular character of any kind. But whatever they want to give me, I'm always thrilled to have it.
Okay.
It's always a challenge to come up with something new. You're often you get a call to come into the show to do Big Macintosh. Okay, well, I know I'm going to come in and do that one voice. And you go through the script and you realize, okay, well, there are a couple other things in here that I might be able to do. And so you play a little bit with voices for things in case they land on you. But they really, they'll come up to you right before the session starts and say, okay, Peter, can you read this part and that part? And then you get there and have to make something up on the spot. And so that's a fantastic challenge. Yep. And sometimes you feel like, oh, gee, that was really successful. And sometimes you walk away going, oh, I don't know. So,
yeah, it's hit and miss.
Well, yeah, it feels like that. Although it seems to, you get to a place in your career, I think, where you start to trust their judgment. So, if they say, yeah, okay, great, inside you might be thinking, I don't know, but out in the world, it probably sounds fine.
All right. Yeah, that's fair.
You want it always to be, you want it to be super exciting and super interesting and super dynamic, and you want every voice to be the one that wins you the Emmy or whatever it is. And I think it's you've set an impossibly high standard for yourself. That's what it comes down to.
Well, yeah. Well, at least it isn't what Kathy had to go through in voicing a drain pipe.
Yes, Kathy had to voice the drain pipe. I have to think back and I'm sure I've done something equally strange and insipid, but yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the more out there ones.
For sure it is, yeah. Funny.
All right. Let's see. Here's a good question. What was your personal impression of the Love Poison episode? Did you enjoy saying all those things, or did you prefer the normal "yup" or "nope"?
This is the Hearts and Hooves Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really fun. But it was the answer to the question. Really, is that it was both, because it was really fun to say those silly things, and certainly, Nicole and I, as I remember, were standing more or less opposite one another, and so we had to look at each other while we were saying it, which made the matters worse, because we were cracking each other up. But so it was a hoot to do. But I will also admit to feeling a lot of pressure to do it really well, and because that kind of dialogue was such a branch out for that character. I really felt a lot of pressure to do it well and properly, and I also had just found out about the fandom and wanted to do right by the fans at the same time. So it was the first time in my career I was ever feeling that pressure on top of regular performance anxiety and pressures, on top of having to come up with a way for a character to say a thing that is outside of the character's norm. So it was a challenge, and again, that's another exciting thing about it, is that if you're not challenging yourself and being challenged by it, then you're kind of done. And so I like that it's still a challenge.
That's good, because I feel like if it wasn't a challenge, if it wasn't something that you really were when you're going at it, you're just that you weren't really putting all of your energy into, then it wouldn't be something that's worth your time, especially all the time that you do end up putting into it.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
The extension of that, if I may do that, what do you think was the bigger challenge to do for Big Mac? Was it the whole lovey-dovey stuff in Hearts and Hooves Day, or was it the short but really effective pep talk that Big Mac gave the Cutie Mark Crusaders in Ponyville Confidential?
I think it was a challenge to do both of those things for sure, but I think it was a bigger challenge to do Hearts and Hooves Day.
So I would say that saying lovey-dovey stuff is harder than giving a pep talk.
It was for that character. I mean, if the character was saccharine to begin with, a character like Jet Set saying, Jet Set, who's staying here, or I think it would be quite easy for him to fall into Shroopy lovey-dovey territory, because it's already kind of in his oeuvre to go that way. Whereas Big Mac is so down to earth, salt of the earth, he's not predisposed to that kind of chatter, whereas he is kind of predisposed. Ultimately, he's predisposed to that kind of severe pep talk. It's not frequently that he needs to do that, but he's predisposed to it. It fits into his character.
Oh, definitely.
It's more natural to do that for him than it is to the other. I think if he were really in love, as opposed to poisoned and in love, I think he wouldn't be quite so saccharine.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
He just doesn't seem to be that kind of guy.
Yeah, I don't think he's that kind of guy. I think if it was a genuine affection, then it would be a little more sedate.
Yes, indeed. It wouldn't be an over dramatic performance.
Yeah. Pulling off of the feelings of your favorite voices and such to do. Do you have any fond memories, like your fondest memory of being in the studio with any of the other actors or actresses, or maybe by yourself?
I tell you who I often end up having some of the best fun with is Michelle Creeber. She and I developed when we're in the studio together, which isn't all that often ultimately. We play a lot of very quiet. We have I guess a quiet competition is the best way to put it. Between takes, we'll just give each other eyes and shake our heads at each other like we're not doing good work, and it just sort of develops into this, as though we're very much ashamed of each other, and it's very interesting. I don't know how else to describe it really, but we crack. Michelle and I have a similar sense of humor, so we make each other laugh. When we were in Miami, we were just making stuff up. We would just sit together and make stuff up out of whole cloth. And I don't know if it amused anybody else, but it sure amused me and Michelle.
It sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a load of fun. It's a great time. But the thing is, you can't in the studio anyway. You can't be loud, of course. So,
how often do you actually get to be with the other people in the studio at the same time? I've been told it's not that common because it's the whole scheduling issues and stuff.
Yeah, scheduling issues aside, we're usually there all together. Sometimes, maybe one person is missing, and they try to do it with as many people as possible together. With that said, of course, Tara Strong records in Los Angeles, and we record in Vancouver, so we never see Tara, which is too bad. But so we read her in, but the rest of us usually are all together when I'm there.
Sweet.
Yeah, it is pretty sweet. Yeah.
Guys, remember to keep questions coming.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You can still ask Mr. New while he's sitting here in his awesome space outfit.
My space outfit. Yeah, you can. There are some pictures on my Twitter at actor Peter New. No, yeah, that's right. At actor Peter New on my Twitter, and there's a couple of pictures of me that I've recently posted. Now I have to take one right now of me sitting here, Skyping with you.
Oh gosh! I just looked at one of them.
Here we go. Here's a picture of me.
Here
we go.
Oh god!
I'm just about to tweet this now. I'll tweet it, and I'll
check out Peter's Twitter.
Check my Twitter. Yeah, I'll let you know when I'm doing it. I'm still loading it up. My phone is moving really slowly for some reason. I don't know why.
Indeed.
There we go.
My word.
Happens.
So I did have one quick follow-up question to that, since you did mention that you were in your very interesting sci-fi outfit. What is the weirdest thing that has ever happened to you while you were working, if you've had something like that?
The weirdest thing that has ever happened to me. I'm so used to very strange things at this point. The one that I'm thinking of right now, the guys that I'm working for right now are a couple of guys named Maddie and Mikey Granger, and I've done a couple of things with them, most notably about a 20-minute short called The Charlie the Clown Show, where I played their sleazy manager, Beasley Beasler. And, they had Beasley, doing all sorts of unsavory things in the dressing rooms and whatever, and really not being a responsible sort of character at all. And I got to the set, and we were talking about what, sort of seat-of-the-pants filmmaking, and we'd figured on a shirt, and we'd figured on a tie, and I'd grown a mustache out for it, and I was wearing this silly blazer, and we couldn't figure out what pants, and I had these brightly colored socks, and we got to the set, and I sort of got everything on except for the pants, and there were a few pants for me to try, and I just thought, this guy doesn't wear pants. He doesn't wear pants. So I didn't wear pants. And so I spent the entire weekend walking around in a blazer and underpants. And that, among other things, is one of the strangest things I've ever had to do.
Wow.
But, and you got away with it too, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Always. And then here I am in a skin-tight spacesuit. Hang on. What I look like during my Bronies for Good. It's Bronies for Good. There it is. Skype call. And I'm just going to attach the photo. I have to concentrate on one thing at a time. It's never going to happen. Choose from library. Camera roll. Here it is. If anybody wants to know, I have tweeted it. What I look like right now. Talking to you.
Link it in the chat, guys. People in Barry want to see it.
Chat.
So my writers
open a new window so that you don't lose the chat. But anyway,
don't lose yourself.
Don't lose yourselves. Come back so that you can. Then you can hear my my voice and reconcile it with my ridiculous hat. Oh, yeah. Whoa, that pic. I know.
No, I gotta check this out too. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
you gotta look at
curious.
it. I'll think of another strange thing that
Whoa!
I did
I'm sorry, but that's amazing.
it was
Oh
pretty wild,
gosh,
right?
That's
it is a really good
fantastic.
hat.
That is fantastic.
That's a fantastic hat.
Well, it goes on all the way to my toes. Another hilariously weird thing I had to do was for a sketch comedy video we shot a few years ago called Whale Boy, where I played Whale Boy, who was basically a guy, but like a human killer whale. And so they put a stocking on my head they popped like the plastic lenses out from sunglasses and put them on my face so that I had about 20% vision probably through the stocking, which was pulled tight over my nose. And then they made my entire head up to be like that black and white orca pattern. And then they put me in an oversized t-shirt with a giant foam pillow on the back that had a fin sticking out the back of it. And I only spoke like a whale.
How does that sound?
Like this. Like,
That is awesome.
that was not only one of the
Jesus.
That is fantastic.
Most comfortable days I've ever had. That was it was hard to have so little vision and hard to, and the stocking they pulled over my head was deliberately small, so that it would look tight and very round, and it was quite painful actually. But we do these things. We do these things for love.
You suffer for your craft.
Yes, exactly. Yes. That's also available online if you Google The Legend of Bonefish in quotes and then Whale Boy, all one word, you'll be able to find that.
All right, well, gotta get on looking that up and enjoying some good old Whale Boy.
Whale Boy.
All right.
We've got one more question from the chat on how. Okay, let me find it. There it is. Okay. How do you enjoy the cons? How do you feel when you go to them and interacting with all the fans and such?
I love them. They're great fun. They're great fun. They're starting to blur together in my memory at this point, but they are just a super good time. Everybody is so nice, and every hope that I had for what I thought the fandom might be like was met and exceeded. Everybody has just been such a joy to talk to and deal with, and the cons are a party, and the art and the merchandise is just amazing, and it never stops being a total thrill in every way to go to one of those cons. And I hope to go to more of them. I know that I'm going to. I think I'm allowed to talk about Houston now. I'm going to Fiesta Equestria in June, and I think everybody already knows now I'm going to Las Pegasus Unicon in Vegas. I guess that's next month.
Indeed.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Oh, I'm super looking forward to that. Since speaking as Representative Bronies for Good, we're going to be there in force. So,
well, I will come by your booth and find you and shake your hands, and certainly find me if I don't find you.
Oh, no, of course. I will definitely find you and shake your hand, and then I'll probably have a banner for you to sign.
A banner?
A banner.
Banner.
It's a super duper banner.
I'm going to try to remember a super duper banner so that I can say I've signed a super duper banner. I like the phrase. Someone wants to know if I have made any pony purchases. Yes. I have bought myself a couple of Big Mac t-shirts.
Nice.
Hey. Nice.
And a couple of other things too, I guess. But I get a lot of things. I've had a lot of things given to me, which is very generous, and I have kept every single one of them because it's so flattering and lovely, and so. But it also eliminates the need to buy a lot of pony swag because you sort of think, oh well, gee, I would love to have that. I think maybe I'll swing by the artist's alley later and grab a pair of Big Macintosh ears or something, and then someone will trot by you and give you a pair of Big Macintosh ears, and you think, okay, well, that's very nice, thank you, but now I do not need to go and buy Big Macintosh ears. Okay. So it's It's a thrill. It's a thrill. I'm super grateful.
On that note, what was the most thoughtful gift that somebody's given to you?
I think the most thoughtful was among the first things I got. A guy wrote me a very nice letter, and he had made a Big Mac out of like a paper craft Big Mac, and put it inside a box on some cotton, and he gave me that with this letter, which was a very touching letter, and that's it's super. I don't really want to betray what it said, but it was tremendous.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's not the only touching thing. I mean, there have been many touching things. A lot of people have written letters and made comments to the effect that what we do on MLP is changing their lives. And that's something you're rarely thinking about when you're hanging around voice acting. It's such a goofball thing to do. And then you get to meet people and find out that I'm amazed at the number of people who have come up to me and had essentially the same story, which is that it's usually a parent that will come up to me and say, listen, I have a 13-year-old autistic child, and My Little Pony is the thing that we do now every week because its lessons are so clear that it's actually helping our family to navigate this very difficult life that we have. And, that kind of story that I get quite a bit of it is really amazing and just it's supremely humbling.
That's fantastic.
It's definitely one of the really common threads that you see along many of the, experiences that are shared with VAs or with any of the other show staff, and even to some extent with some community guests. Just being able to say, hey, you did something that changed my life, and I want to thank you for that. I don't think there's anything more sincere than that. Saying that to somebody is, I think, one of the ultimate expressions of what's the term I'm looking for here? Of
gratitude.
Gratitude, yeah, gratitude, and consideration, and I think, in a way, love. Not necessarily the love that, is that you see within a couple, but like a very pluralistic love,
Yeah.
So,
anyway. On that subject of being touched, were you able to watch the documentary?
I did watch the documentary just the other night, actually. Yeah, I thought it was lovely. I thought they did great work. What did you think of it?
I thought it was very good. They did a very good job with all the interviews, and I really felt that the staff interviews were really in depth and very helpful to understanding, the whole concept of the show and why it was put into being, and it was great.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
I love the animated section with John Delancey.
Oh yeah,
yes.
Oh, that was great. I love that.
That has to be my favorite part of the whole bit. I generally enjoyed the documentary. It wasn't without issues. There was some parts where I was like, I don't quite agree, but overall you can tell it was a labor of love. You can tell it was generally conceived professionally.
I also feel like it was made for the general public and not so much for this community or people that already understand what's going on. Like, it was made for the uneducated Bronies to learn a bit about them.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And in that sense, I feel like it maybe was really successful because I feel like it was very inclusive and not entirely in depth. Like, it didn't get into the politics and whatever else, but I thought it did a great job of representing the community.
Yeah, no, I think it did a wonderful job at that, and I really like the way it kind of segmented to different parts of the world. So you really get a kind of a global sense of the fandom. It isn't one thing that's predominantly in the United States or in Europe or where it's really everywhere. And there are bronies everywhere.
Yeah, I know there are, which is great.
Yep, it's awesome.
I really hope that we do get the chance to be able to all go to Galacon one day, because Galacon. So.
That would be rad. I really hope that comes.
I can't speak for that, obviously, because I'm biased. As a staff member, I'm
You're
pretty biased.
Staff.
Well, I would love it. I think it would be great.
Yep. I think the way to really make it successful is that you need to hold it in a castle. That's what you need to do.
Oh yeah, let's do it. Or like at a winery.
Oh my gosh! Yes. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Do this. I love this plan.
Or in a beer garden. I mean, not to make German stereotypes or anything, but
we do make the best beer.
You do make great beer in Germany, and pretzels with the mustard.
Yes.
Oh god.
Yeah, really.
The only real ones. The only real pretzels. Not that kind of dry.
Oh no!
Icky stuff that you get in the US.
No, I homemade myself some nice chewy pretzels once, and that was delicious. But still, I don't think I could. I think I still need to work on it. I need to do it again if it's going to get as good as what you can get in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you can make it to Galacon, we have a castle in front of our venue, if that counts.
Yeah, I think that does. Sure.
So we have sort of castle-ish.
Castle-ish.
Close
It's more
enough.
palace-y, isn't it? More palace-y than castle-y?
Kind of. I'm not sure.
Both.
Either way, it's good.
A little bit of callus.
It's a callus.
It works either way. We're definitely trying our best to put together a good time. So if you can make it, that would be amazing.
Well, I hope that everything works out in that way. I know that we've been talking about it behind the scenes here, and hopefully it all works out.
Yes.
But we'll see. We'll see. Nothing official just yet.
And fancy secret things, indeed.
Super secrets. Yes. All right.
Audience, don't forget to ask questions.
Yeah, I'm here.
New.
He's Mr. New. He is here. He is present.
I'm here to yup for you, if you wish. I'm happy to Snoopy-Doo!
I think there was actually one suggestion earlier if you could actually answer one of the questions in your Big Mac voice.
I can try. What's the question?
Well, let's see. Let's find it.
Let's find a question.
Big Mac does really well with yes or no questions.
Here's a yes or no question. Do you have any pets?
Nope.
Aww.
Too bad. I would like to have pets, but I don't right now.
Do you have a favorite
animal? I have had in my life. For a pet or in general?
For a pet, since we're not talking about.
I think probably I'm more of a dog person. I do like dogs.
You're not a pony person?
As a pet? No.
Yeah, this is a bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
I know people do have, horses and ponies and things as pets, but I don't live on an acreage or anything, so I think it would be problematic. I sort of think, I know people sometimes would have, ponies or horses and then keep them at the stable halfway across town, but to me that's not like having a pet. That's like having a luxury car that you barely use, it's different. I wouldn't want to do that. A pet to me is about camaraderie, not, a thing to go use. So I wouldn't want to get a horse unless I could have, or a pony, and unless I could have it live in my home with me, which I think might be a stretch.
Absolutely. On that note, then we should probably do the Find a Pet song for Mr. New.
Oh gosh.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Will it end with Mr. New putting on a contest for who gets to be his pet?
Oh yes.
Is one of you going to be? Oh no. Going to come into my house with me. We'll have camaraderie.
True camaraderie with Peter New. What did you ask for?
Build him a little pet house in the back.
Yes.
Oh my word.
That's that's gonna end up in fan fiction somewhere.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, let's move on from that.
Steering away from that topic. Let's see. Here we got a question. Do you ever find yourself overacting at all?
Yes, I'm a horrible overactor. I do it all the time. But that's one of the reasons why voice work is so good for me, because you have to be big in voice work a lot of the time. You have to go, put in a large performance, and it doesn't matter what you look like. I always find it very challenging on camera to be so still, because my temptation is to mug. As you may be able to tell through any set of photographs of me, I'm almost always making some ridiculous face.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm like that in motion as well. So,
yep.
Yeah, I often tell directors, I know that you want it small. I just don't know that what I'm doing is not small. So tell me to rein it in. I can do that.
Well, I think that speaks to your personal self-awareness of what your skills and weaknesses are as an actor. And that's really impressive. Personally, just really see that.
To me, I think that's part of your job as an actor is as an artist of any kind is to refine your work. I think you have to be your own. You have to be a critic of your own work, but not to such an extent that you are attacking yourself personally. You need to be able to look at what you do and say, okay, well, I hear what I'm doing in that scene, and I hear that it's too sloppy, that I'm talking too quickly, that I'm not enunciating enough, whatever it is. And you need to be able to hear that and say, well, what can I now bring to the next time that I go to work that overcomes that obstacle? You have to constantly be looking at it. I imagine a painter has to look at that. I imagine a musician has to look at that. How do I make this blue that I'm trying to make work? How do I make it more blue, the better blue? How do I mix it right? How do I, you have to be able to look at your work and build on it. And again, it's the same thing. If you stop, then you're done. Then you should stop. You have to. It's a constant. Art of any kind is an active discovery. If you know what you're going to do, then why do it?
Fair point. Very fair point.
It's very true.
All right. Well, I think we got another fairly interesting question here. Does or did your voice acting career have any influence on your personal way of speaking?
Probably. That's a good question, actually. I've never really reflected on that, but I suppose it does. I suppose that as an actor, and as a voice actor, because you use your voice, you look for a way of speaking clearly. You look for a way of expressing yourself properly. I don't know how successful I am at that necessarily, but I do think that it probably has affected me. Yeah, and I couldn't speak to how it's affected me really, because I don't have the alternate universe where I wasn't an actor to see how I would otherwise have been speaking.
That's interesting. I'll have to ask that. I think that's a question we'll have to ask. We'll have to pose to quite a couple of other voice actors and actresses as well, because I don't really think about it that often.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like the question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like it
too. To my roster of question.
I'll probably keep thinking about that question actually as I toddle off to sleep tonight. I might be wondering.
in your ridiculous sci-fi.
Because I plan to sleep in this outfit from now on.
Yeah, of course.
Oh my word!
Do you know the things that are sticking out from my head?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Right. They're all on my head. They're magnetized to my head, so I can remove them and replace them.
Wow.
I finished your Big Mac, by the way.
What was that?
I finished your Big Mac drawing, by the way, on Skype.
Oh, great! Was that what this is here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Isn't that the folder?
I'm going to open that up.
Just a short, quick, silly one. Big Mac being confused by Skype.
Yeah. It's still loading. I can't wait to look at it.
Oh gosh.
So let me ask you. This is all in aid of. Sorry, I saw the picture. That is terrific. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's just great. I'm going to probably put that up somewhere, if I may, on my Facebook page or something later on.
Of course.
There you go.
Thank you so much. Why? This is all innate of something in Kampala, yeah?
Yeah, well, this is not all completely in it. We're doing half and half with supporting Galacon and supporting our current Season Kind of 2 project, which is the hold on, let me pull that information up real fast. Which is the rainwater harvesting tanks in Tanzania that we're helping.
Tanzania. Oh,
yeah,
okay, awesome.
that we're helping. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, so trying to make sure we can get as many of those funded, since there's a massive need for them. So
yeah, there is. That's a beautiful part of the world, and it, for as much as it needs help, some of it for sure. Yeah. So this is a great cause.
Indeed.
As is Galacon. Which there's a real need for Galacon in that part of the world. So
absolutely.
But the thing is, I having traveled to that area, I was in Kampala in 2011 for a few weeks, and having traveled there, the big discovery that for me was that it really wasn't that different. That you're before traveling there, I sort of had this idea in the back of my mind that it was a place which was ever needy, and that's really not how it is. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't need things, because it's they get along, and life just happens, and it's fascinating and glorious. But it's also there is an incredible need there that is not getting satisfied, that the rest of the world can certainly help with. So it's a cause, that whole area of the world I fell a little bit in love with, and all of the causes now that help it are very dear to me. So I'm really glad you guys are doing this, and thank you very much.
Oh, well, thank you for helping out with this. I mean, it's sometimes a popular misconception to consider Africa or different parts of it to be very treacherous, or
I know, yeah, right.
Very these just war-torn, devastated landscapes that have nothing to them. But in reality, it's a beautiful, beautiful place. Beautiful,
it really is gorgeous there, yeah.
And lovely countries, and I mean, I recommend anybody who ever gets a chance to go to Africa, go there. It's amazing.
It's fantastic, and I make the same recommendation, absolutely. So, I've just been called away to set. I believe I have to go to set. Is that right? Yeah. So I have to run away and do actual acting in my blue suit. So I give you one final question, and then I will answer it, and then I have to go.
Final question.
There's a final question.
I'm sorry.
We've got an influx of a lot of questions. So which one should be the final question?
Let's see here.
The best one. The best one.
It has to be a cool one. Guys, make it the cool one. Super cool. Super special cool.
Alright, let's see. This also we're wondering if you can still answer it in Big Mac's voice.
Okay, I'll try to answer this in Big Mac's voice.
Alright. Come on, chat. Make Mr. New proud of the fandom.
Even more than he hopefully already is.
All right, what do we got? What's the question?
Looking. You got it? Come on, guys. Pick a question.
Do a quick one before it.
There's just so many.
And
some of them are so good.
I'll pick one.
Just pick one.
Okay, you go. You're the guest.
I have here in front of me. Have you ever found it difficult to step out of a particular role after you were done speaking your lines? Yes. I mean, yep. I find a lot of the times that I don't even know that I'm having trouble stepping out of a character or out of a role. And I'm trying to answer this very quickly because I'm getting loomed over. But sometimes I'm doing a part and certain things are getting under my skin or irritating me, and I'll just think I'm toddling along in my life being normal, and this thing is irritating me. But I was doing a play called The Wild Party a few years ago, and I was playing a producer, and we were having some trouble with the venue. The venue had hired out a second space that was making a lot of noise, and I found myself getting entirely irritated with all of this extra noise. And I realized only like weeks later that the reason I was so irritated by all of the extra noise in the venue was because I was playing a producer. And a decent producer would have accounted for the fact that there would be another venue and would have tried to arrange for there to be no other noise. And I realized that as an actor, that's not my business. As an actor, I just react and act. And but I was so deep into my producer brain, my producer character brain, that I was really taking it on. To the point of I think I lost a friend of the guy that was producing the other room. I basically swore at him on a cross that I had to pass through his venue, and that was sort of the last time we spoke. So, yeah, I have trouble sometimes, but that's that. So I hope on that sort of slightly sour story, I hope that there's a...
Best of luck with your current role, and we'll hope to see you again in the future, sir.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for coming.
Yes, thank you so much.
Soon.